According to the New York Times, stated, while Mr. Obama publicly named North Korea as the country that attacked Sony Pictures Entertainment last year, he and his aides have described the Chinese hackers in the government records case only to members of Congress in classified hearings. Blaming the Chinese in public could affect cooperation on limiting the Iranian nuclear program and tension with China's Asian neighbors. Are you ready to state that since it's been in all public periodicals that it was China responsible for this hacking?
I think that would be a question.
That's a pretty simple answer. Are you ready to say that it was Chinese hacking or not?
I would have to defer to my
so the
colleagues
answer
at
is no.
State. I would defer to my colleagues at State to respond to that.
So the answer is no. You will, and not, even though it's all in public knowledge that it was China, you're not ready to tell this committee that you know that it was China that was responsible for the hacking. Is that true?
OPM is not responsible for attribution. We rely on our colleagues to talk about that.
Your committee, your business is to track and to respond to hacking, and well, I'd like to go back to the issue. You said you didn't know where the figure of 18 million Social Security numbers came from. This is a Wall Street Journal article. Mm-hmm. A senior FBI official interjected, said it was based on her agency's own data, these people said, of 18.2 million. Are you ready to acknowledge that the FBI's number of 18.2 million is accurate?
As I stated in my opening remarks, sir, I don't believe that that is an accurate number, and I will not give an accurate number. So
the FBI is giving us incorrect information?
I don't have an understanding of where they assumed that 18 number, but I will tell you that.
Have you met with the FBI?
My associates have met with the FBI.
Your associates have, but you haven't?
No, sir, I have not met with the FBI.
Why wouldn't you, when there's a clear situation here of an allegation by the most respected law enforcement agency in America of 18.2 million, you're alleging that it's 4 million. Wouldn't you sit down with the director of the FBI and say, hey, the American people need to know, especially those 14 million, between 4 and 18 million that may have been breached?
As the head of the agency, I have many people who are working on a number of different issues. This is an important question that you've asked me, and since the time that
I guess my question again is, why wouldn't you sit down with the FBI people and find out where they got their information so you can corroborate it or deny it?
My colleagues have met with the FBI, and
but you haven't. It's not. No. It doesn't rise to your level of attention. I see. Now, what about the hundreds of millions of prescription drug claims and health records OPM holds to detect fraud in the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program? Are those at risk?
The enrollment forms are part of the data, and as I said in my statement again, that we're analyzing the data right now.
You won't tell the committee whether they're at risk or not?
I will share with you that we're analyzing this data to see the scope of the impact of this breach.
Mr. McFarland, your office has been warning OPM about the vulnerability of its data for years. How were these warnings received by the agency, and why were they apparently ignored until it was too late?
Well, I don't know why they were ignored, but they certainly.
But they were ignored.
But yes, they were ignored in my estimation. Yes.
So they just received it, sort of like Ms. Archuleta received the information from the FBI. Probably may not have risen to the level of her interest. Now, Ms. Archuleta, you made an interesting statement. You told a Senate Appropriations Committee Tuesday that no one at OPM is personally to blame for the data breach. However, she told the House panel Wednesday, quote, I hold all of us responsible. That's our job at OPM to protect the data. In other words, everybody's responsible, so nobody's responsible. But you are responsible, and I wonder whether you think, since you said, I hold all of us responsible, do you think you should stay in your present position?
Senator, I have been working hard from day one to correct decades of neglect.
Ignoring
Mr. McFarland's
I've been here
warnings.
for 18 months, sir,
And I've worked very hard. I think we've taken great strides, not only within OPM and in partnership throughout government. Cybersecurity is an enterprise effort in this administration, and I work closely with them. I am committed to continuing to do that.
Well, unfortunately, you're not committed to heeding the warnings of Mr. McFarland, apparently, at least according to his assessment. I guess my final question is, which I'm sure you will probably obfuscate, when will the American people know? When will they know the extent of this penetration, which has violated the privacy of, at least in the estimation of the FBI, 18 million people?
Thank you for that question. And as I stated earlier, we're working as rapidly as we can. I have a team that is working, that is devoted to this.
And you have
but
no,
I will be.
And you have no estimate for the committee as to when this.
When I know that the number is accurate, that's the time.
But you can't tell us when you would.
When I know the number is accurate.
So, but you can't tell us when.
When they bring me an accurate number, I have
see.
confidence in that number.
Ms. Archuleta, I must say that I've seen a lot of performances. Yours ranks in one of the most interesting.